Good morning. Welcome to Soulful Sundays. I'm Missy Maki. I'm your instructor with Yoga Maki, and I appreciate that you joined me. I can see that there's 2 here from Zoom and a few on Facebook, so welcome. So I appreciate you being here. And we are going to go ahead and start in an easy seat. Easy seat is also cross-legged, or as my kids would say, crisscross applesauce. So go ahead and join me in easy seat. And again, welcome. Thank you for joining. Oh, we got some on Instagram too. Okay, hello, welcome. Welcome to Soulful Sundays. I appreciate that you're here. Thank you so much. And we are going to go ahead and, like I just said, start in an easy seat or cross leg. Interestingly enough, easy seat is not easy for everyone. So the most comfortable that you can get in a seated position. I actually sit on a block, which helps my torso. It gives me extra space, and it is more comfortable because I have a shorter torso. So the great thing about yoga is all of these great tools that we have to help us through our practice. My suggestion would be today for this class, 1 block. In general, for Soulful Sunday, you would want a block, 1 block, possibly 2, and then sometimes a bolster, which is the pink item behind me. We won't use a bolster for this class today. Okay, great. Okay, so let's go ahead and start in easy seat. Let's place our hands on our knees, close our eyes. And the best part of Soulful Sunday is setting our intention. Our intention for Soulful Sunday and for the week ahead of us is appreciate yourself. This was selected because we put so much time into our everyday lives, our jobs, our children, our extended family, our homes. There is so much on our plate, and we tend to place ourselves at the end of that line. Today, I would like you to think about putting the appreciation towards yourself for this 1 hour, taking the time to center, to feel grounded, and to find comfort in your own self. And remember how hard you work for everything else, and focus on putting that back into yourself. You are your own best friend. You have to live with you every day, just like I have to live with me every day. So I will remind you through the practice to come back to this one simple statement: I appreciate myself. Excellent. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls. So we're going to bring our shoulders up to our ears and back. Go nice and slow and bring them down, up to our ears, squeeze tight and back. Let's do one more. Up to our ears and round them back. Excellent. Let's come back forward this time, or backwards if you were going the other way. And roll forward. It feels so good. Such an easy, simple movement that we forget to do every day. Excellent. From here, we are going to go ahead and do some head rolls. Let's drop our right ear to our right shoulder and slowly roll forward. Let's stop center and allow all those muscles that go down the back of our neck to have a moment. And let's roll over to our left. Left ear, left shoulder. Try to keep your shoulders down, not hunched up, but down. And let's roll back forward again. Drop our head center. Stop for a moment. Deep breath. And let's roll over to the side. I'll remind you to come back to your breath multiple times. Now let's go back. Very slowly as we head roll back. If you really listen, you'll hear cracks and creaks in there. Very nice. And let's go back again. And once we are right ear to right shoulder, let's do a full circle. Go forward through the center, left ear, left shoulder, and that nice, slow back roll. And now let's reverse and go back. Left ear, left shoulder, and roll forward. Oh, it already feels so good. Excellent. We will meet in the center, and on your next inhale, let's bring our hands to the sky. And on our exhale, drop our right hand and lean to the right. Nice side stretch. Let's take a few breaths here. Try not to lean forward. Try to come back. You want to feel the stretch from the tips of your fingers all the way down to your hip. Excellent. Next inhale, bring your hands up to the sky. Exhale, drop your left hand and lean to the left. Really try to breathe into that rib cage. Try not to dump forward. Keep your body on one plane, if that makes sense. Breathe into those ribs. Oh, we need that, don't we? Excellent. On your next inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circle sweep your hands to the sky. And exhale, turn to the right. Drop your right hand to the floor behind you and your left hand to your right knee and look over your right shoulder. As you inhale, straighten your spine. And as you exhale, look over your shoulder. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. You may only be able to look this way, to the side, and don't push too hard. Excellent. On your next inhale, let's bring our hands back up to the sky. And on our next exhale, let's turn to the left. Drop our left hand behind us, right hand to the left knee, and twist. Same program. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, twist. Let's go through a series of 3 breaths in this position. Excellent. On your next inhale, let's bring our hands back up to center, hands together, and hands to heart center. From here, we're going to go ahead and do a butterfly with our legs. Let's untwine them, maybe lean back, and bring our feet together. You may be up here, that's great. You may be down here. You can also choose to put blocks under your knees if you're finding that this is more pressure than you need, than your body is asking for. So you can place blocks under your knees. This is called butterfly pose. It's also called cobbler's pose. And my guess it's because you've got your feet right here. Just breathe in, lengthen that spine. Bring your heels towards the V of your legs. And on inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, relax your legs down. You do not need to do this, but if you're feeling it, I like to kitty cat crawl my fingers forward. And I do not need to go very far to feel this stretch. Opening up all those muscles. So we'll be ready for some gentle movement. Let's sit back up. Okay, so now we're gonna roll forward onto tabletop. I'm gonna come off of my block. We'll talk about tabletop position. Tabletop, you really wanna make sure that your hip and knee are in line, and they are hip width distance apart, and your hands are directly below your shoulders. That is tabletop. We'll come back to tabletop multiple times. But right now, I'm going to go forward. I wanted to make sure you were able to see that. Okay, so from tabletop, we're going to do cat-cow. Actually, I'm going to come back over here again. So first, we're going to start by dropping our belly, lifting our neck up, and shining our heart through our shoulders for a cow pose. On our inhale, we're going to come up to a cat pose, arching our back, bringing our crown towards the head, the ground. Exhale, cow pose. You can do these slow. I like to add a few twists in them. Remember, yoga is what you make it. It's not specific. If you want to go deep, you can go deep. Your body is asking for you to go deeper, but it's not necessary to get the same benefit. Excellent. So let's meet back at tabletop, and we're going to go into puppy pose. And I'm facing forward because I want you to see this. We're walking our hands forward, and this is a great back stretch. And then coming down. So our hands aren't beneath us, they're forward. And then we're coming down and dropping our forehead to the ground. And this is puppy pose. Let's take 3 breaths here. Excellent. From here, I like to just slowly inch my way back until I'm able to press back up to tabletop. Already felt really good. Okay, so now after puppy pose, we're going to go into bird dog. We're going to walk through this. The first thing, I'm going to go sideways again. Find a stable tabletop. Lift your left arm up and your right leg up, or touch your toe on the ground for balance. Both are equally bird dog pose. Breathe. Drop your foot to the ground, knee to ground, hand to ground. We're going to do this on the left-hand side. Bring your left hand up, or your right hand up, and you can take your left foot back, leave it on the toe on the ground, or lift it. You're looking for a straight line with bird dog. This is a great pose for your core, and it can be very challenging. Excellent. Let's bring our knee back down and our hand back down to the ground. I'm going to move forward because we are going to do thread the needle. So this is called thread the needle because you're essentially threading one arm under the other. We'll start by lifting our right arm up to the sky. And then we're going to bring it through under our left arm. Turn our torso till our shoulders on the ground and lay our ear to the ground. Thread the needle. We're going to allow that shoulder to open up. Excellent. Let's push back up, reach that arm to the sky, and meet back in good old tabletop. I'd like to take a moment and remind you in these positions that we are here to focus on appreciating ourselves. This is what we're doing. Lifting our left hand to the sky, threading it right underneath that right arm, and dropping our shoulder to the ground, ear to ground. You can let that arm go out if you like. Feels nice. Remember your breath. Excellent. Bring your hand back to your face if you had it forward. And push yourself up. Untwist that arm and bring it up to the sky. Very nice. So from here, we're going to go into our first downward dog of the day, just so we can pedal it out. So let's start with our hands, shoulder width apart. We want those middle fingers facing forward. And remember, when we go into a downward dog, we do not want to dump into our wrists. We want to try and keep the weight between the fingers and the wrists. So now curl your toes and push back with your hands. The first downward dog is always a little stiff. Go ahead and pedal that dog out. I like to shake my head no, nod it yes. We're really trying to push those hips up and then drop our heels, but your heels don't have to hit the ground. Nice pedal, little movement in that downward dog. Excellent. From here, I want you to look towards your hands, bend your knees, and baby step up to the front of your mat. Now, you should be in a full forward fold. Best to have your knees bent and place your stomach on your quads and allow your hands to hang. We're going to clasp one elbow, then the next, and just release our back of it in a ragdoll pose. Maybe go forward and back on your feet and toes. Breathe deep. This can be a comfortable pose for some. It can be challenging for some. So just be where you need to be. If you need to lean forward, you need to touch the ground. If you need to just hold yourself on your knees, it's all fine. Excellent. From here, we're going to take our hands to our shins and go into a flat back. Release to a forward fold again. And from here, slightly bend your knees. Circle sweep your hands to the sky. Look up. Thank the sun. Bring your hands together and meet right there in heart center. Close your eyes. Mountain pose. It's a wonderful place to recenter. Remember your why. Why are you here? Thank yourself for this time. Excellent. From here, we're going to circle sweep our hands to the sky. Slight back bend. Don't go too far. Just a slight back bend. And then swan dive through to a forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold again. Plant your hands. We're stepping back to a plank. Your plank may be up high, like this. It may be knees. Both are great. From here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves and place our left cheek on the ground. You want your hands directly under your shoulders. And from here, We're going to allow our back to bring us up to a cobra pose. Release and place your right cheek to the ground. And come back up, cobra pose. Now cobra pose, this is a back strengthening pose. You should be able to lift your hands. Not everyone can do that, but. And release. From here, we're going to push back up to our downward dog. You can go through tabletop or push all the way up based on how often you practice yoga. I'll show you going through tabletop. Tabletop, curl your toes, and downward dog. Deep breath, exhale, bend your knees, and baby step your hands right back up to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold, and circle sweep your hands to the sky, and hands to heart center. That was your first sun salutation. We're going to go through the whole process one more time. Circle sweep your hands to the sky, swan dive, all the way through. Forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold again. Let's place our hands on the ground and step back to a plank. Push ourselves forward, slowly drop to the ground, left cheek to the ground, breathe. Hands should be under your shoulders. We're going to come back up for that cobra. And release, right cheek to the ground. Push back up for cobra. Release to the ground. Tuck your toes. We're going to push back up to our downward dog, either through tabletop or straight up. Deep breath. Bend your knees and tippy toe right back up to the top. Perfect. Halfway lift, forward fold, and circle sweep to the sky. Bring your hands to heart center. Good job. We did 2 full sun salutations. Excellent. Let's start back in mountain pose. Close our eyes for a moment. Excellent. We'll circle sweep our hands to the sky. Let's touch our hands and do a light back bend. And swan dive through, hands to the ground. Hands to shin for a flat back. Hands back to the ground. And this time we are going to go directly back to a downward dog. This downward dog probably feels a lot better. So push your hips up to the sky and then drop your heels. Shake your head no, nod your head yes. Allow it to hang. And from here, we're going to take our right leg up and we're going to bring it through and place it between our hands. Framing our foot with our hands. From here, we're going to drop our knee to the ground, untuck our toes, and bring our hands up for a low crescent lunge. This is Soulful Sunday. We're not doing crazy things here. Wonderful deep breaths. It's as if your hands are holding a beach ball, but you want to keep your shoulders, space between your ears and your shoulders, and yet you're reaching up and holding that ball. Twisting the wrists in, essentially. If it's more comfortable for balance, you can place your hand on your knee. You can also hold your hips. All are perfectly appropriate. Excellent. And your next exhale, let's bring our left hand to the ground next to our foot and bring our right hand to the sky for a twist. Excellent. We're going to bring our right hand back down and frame that left foot. Untuck our toes, tuck our toes, bring our knee back up, and kick that right leg back up to the sky. If it's in your practice, open that dog up. Excellent. Bring your hips back and drop your foot. 2 deep breaths. Excellent. Lift your left foot. And we're going to bring our left foot through and get it right between our hands here. Drop your right knee, untuck your toes. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the crescent lunge. Your knee, which I will turn around. Crescent lunge. Your knee and ankle should be in line with one another. Feel those shoulders go down, arms near your ears. If it's in your practice, you can lean back a bit. If not, this is great. This works as well for balance, as does this. From here, we are going to drop our right hand to the ground next to our foot, lift our left hand to the sky for a twist. Excellent. Let's drop that hand back down. Tuck those right toes. We're going to lift that knee, and we're going to kick that left foot back up to the sky. Open that dog if we need. Hips parallel to the ground, and bring that foot back down. 2 deep breaths. Keeping those elbows wrapped in, balancing your weight between your wrists and your fingers. Bend our knees, and let's tippy toe back up to the top of our mat. Halfway lift, forward fold, and circle sweep our hands to the sky, and hands to heart center. Good job. Okay, we're now going to go into a warrior series. So I'm going to stay sideways because I believe this will be more helpful. From here, we're going to circle sweep our hands to the sky, swan dive down to a forward fold, halfway lift, place our hands on the ground, and step back to a downward dog. Excellent. Deep breath. Circle those elbows in. Let's take that right foot up to a 3-legged dog. Bring it through. Place it between our hands. And from here, we're going to drop our heel and have our heel be at an angle. We are going to, next, you want to cartwheel your hands. And I'm actually going to turn this way. So you've turned your foot in. From here, you've cartwheeled your hands up. Your knee is bent. Your back leg is straight. Your foot is anywhere from 45 to 90 degrees from the front. And your hands are out. So let's talk about warrior 2. Bent knee does not come in, stays tracking over your ankle, over directly the way your foot is pointed. Hips are not up here, they're back here. Straight up, arms out, and your gaze goes over your middle finger of your right arm. You can go deeper if you like, just depends. From here, we're going to drop our left hand, flip our right hand, and reverse our warrior. It's a wonderful stretch from fingers. Oh, I can feel it down to my knee. Breathe. So good. From here, we're going to bring our hands back around, place our right forearm on our thigh, and bring our left hand over for a side arm stretch. We are going to come back to the reverse warrior and bring our hands back out to a T, straighten our leg. Okay, this is where you may want to block. And I'll show you how to use it if you need it. So we've straightened our legs. Lean forward, keeping your hip back. Drop your right arm to your ankle, the floor, your knee, or your block. And reach your left arm to the sky. And you're in triangle pose. The thing about triangle pose is you want your hand, your elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, hand to all be in one line. You don't want to lean forward. You want to stay in one line. Breathe. Great. Now from here, we're going to use our core to get back up, drop our knee, hand to the back, reverse warrior. And from here, we are going to cartwheel our hands back down, frame our foot, turn our left foot forward, kick that right foot back up to the sky, and drop it. Great job. Take a deep breath. We're going to take our left leg up and bring it through. Frame it between our hands. We want to drop our heel, cartwheel our hands back up. We're doing the same thing on the other side. Let's break the warrior two down again. Back leg is straight, right leg is bent. Knee is not tracking inward, staying out and staying over our ankle. Our body is not leaning forward, it's central. Arms are at a T, and our gaze gently over our center finger. Remember to relax your face. Excellent. We're going to drop our right arm to our right leg, flip our left hand, and bring it over for reverse warrior. Sweep our arms forward, left arm to left leg, right arm over for a side arm stretch. Try not to dump forward. Try to keep that shoulder back. Excellent. We're going to come back, hand to the back of your leg, and reverse warrior. Okay, we're going to come back into our warrior two. Straighten our leg, lean forward, and drop that hand to your left ankle, shin, floor, or trusty block. This definitely makes it easier to get into and out of. Not easy, just easier. And remember, try not to dump forward. Keep your body on a plane. Excellent. We're going to use our core to bring ourselves back up. Bend our knee, drop our right hand, reverse warrior. And from here, we're going to cartwheel our hands back down, frame our left foot, kick that foot back up, and bring it back down to meet the right in a downward dog. Take 2 deep breaths. Really great work. Bend our knees and tippy toe ourselves to the front of our mat. Come up here. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold again. Circle sweep our hands to the sky. Slight back bend if it's in your practice. And hands to heart center. Excellent. All right. We are going to take a moment here. Come back to our breath. Regulate our heartbeat. Excellent. Now we're going to go ahead and do a balance pose. We're going to do tree pose today. I love tree pose for the reason that it has so many ways that you can do it as a beginner, but it can also be challenging if you are not new to yoga. So first thing you want to do is really ground yourself in. You want to feel so I like to spread my toes out, feel my heels in the ground, and balance my weight between. Now, a precursor is that you can have your ankle right here. You can have your foot here or up here. So there's lots of different variations in the pose. I'm gonna come forward because my mat is really thick. So from hands at heart center, we want to ground into your left foot, bend your right leg, and bring it up. And once you're there, bring it out to the side and place it where you want. Now remember, you want to try and keep that spine straight. I'll try and do it with you. Keep that hip in, don't dump into the hip. And I'll go right here. When you're in a balance pose, you want to try and find one spot to focus on that doesn't move. It's a dancer's trick. Now inside of this pose, you can grow your limbs. Put your hands on your hips. I like to do prayer hands behind my back. There's a lot of really beautiful things you can do with this pose. Maybe wave your beautiful limbs. Excellent. Bring your knee forward and drop it. And shake it out a bit. Great. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and really ground into that right foot. Just bring our toes up to our toes, so we're just kind of catching our balance there. Pull that hip in, bring that knee up, bring it out, and find our position. Really focus on a long, straight spine. Being a beautiful tree in a forest. What kind of tree are you? I think I'd be an oak tree. I would be able to see the seasons, have new leaves. Excellent. Let's bring your knee forward, drop it to the ground, and shake them out. Good job. Okay, it is time for us to come on down to the mat. Excellent. So we're going to do some seated stretches. And I'm going to start us with a fire log. So let's get grounded onto the floor here. I like to make sure my sits bones, which are the bones that you sit on, you can feel them, are really grounded. So the first thing is I'm going to do is I'm going to stack my legs one on top of the other. So we're going to start with our feet forward. I'm going to start with my right leg, and I'm going to tuck it, and then my left leg is going to go over the top, like you're stacking fire logs. Okay? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to breathe in deeply and then lean forward. Now this may be enough. Being in this pose may be a lot on your hips, but if you do have some space, you may move forward. And I like to exhale, inhale up, exhale forward. Listen to your body, feel the sensations. Drop your head. On your next inhale, come back up. Exhale. For our next inhale, we're going to bring our hands up. And when we exhale, we're going to turn to the left and place our left hand behind us and our right arm in front of that left leg for a twist. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, twist. Twists are such a gift to our body. We don't make these movements, in during the day. And have your hands back up and back down. Put our legs in front of us. They need a little wiggle. So next, let's take our left leg, and that'll be the bottom of our stack, and our right leg up top. Keep your feet flexed just to take care of your knees. This will, for me, they feel entirely different. So you may feel entirely different sensations from one leg to the next. And what we're doing now is balancing this, this twist and this stretch. So inhale our hands up and exhale forward. And again, Just sitting here is great. If you have some space to move forward, go for it. Just find that spot of resistance and stop. Don't harm yourself. Don't push too hard. Your body will tell you what it wants and what it doesn't want, and it is our job to listen. Let's drop our head. Inhale and sit back up. Exhale. On your next inhale, bring your hands to the sky. And exhale, we're going to turn to the right. And same thing, we're going to take that right hand and place it behind us. Right arm in front of the right leg, or left arm, left leg. I like to just kind of almost like a slicing hand. And use that to twist yourself. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Just to that point. Don't go further. And you may find inside of the twist, after several breaths, you're able to find more space. On your next inhale, let's bring our hands back up to the sky and back down. Let's put our legs forward. Ooh, I felt that. And wiggle our hips out. Very nice. Now that we're in staff pose, which is sitting straight up, legs in front of us, let's put our toes as if we're up against a wall. Flex them, toes to the ceiling. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Now, forward fold is not a fold. It is a hinge of the hips, and the goal is that your chin is going towards those toes. You don't have to touch your feet. You don't have to be here. You just need to find that spot, and that's where you stay and breathe. That is how we take care of our body, is we don't push it too hard. And if we have a consistent practice, we'll find more space. But right now, we want to honor where we are. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, hinge. Two more deep breaths here. Excellent. On your next inhale, hinge yourself back up and hands back down. From here, we're going to do head to knee. So take your left leg, shoot it out, bring your right leg to your inner thigh. Might be like this, might be like this. And from, go ahead on your next inhale, bring your hands to the sky, twist towards your foot, and same thing as the forward fold. Slowly hinge forward. We don't want to do an arched back. We want to hinge ourselves forward, chin to toes. Keep your foot flexed. Inhale, long spine, exhale, forward. Next inhale, bring your hands back up and exhale down. Excellent. Let's take our right leg out and bring our left foot to our inner right thigh. Inhale, hands to the sky. Twist towards our right leg. Exhale, hinge at the hips forward. This feels entirely different to me. You may feel a muscle on one side is very flexible, or even just a little flexible, and on the next side, it's not at all, and that is normal. we're not, not very many of us are ambidextrous. We tend to prefer one side of our body over the other in every motion. Inhale, straight back, exhale, chin to toes, keep that foot flexed. And your knee can be bent, I should have told you. It doesn't have to be flat. We don't all have the same abilities in our joints and our muscles. Always think of a runner who perhaps hasn't stretched very much. They'd be like this. And my husband is like this. He's pretty athletic. So it's never an indicator of anything other than how your personal body is created. Let's do one more big breath here. Inhale, lengthen our spine. Exhale, chin to toes. Inhale, let's bring our hands back up and back down. Exhale. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do a seated wide leg straddle stretch. Excellent. So on our next, and we're just going to go forward. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward. You want to keep your toes pointed to the sky, nice and flexed. And again, it's the same thing where we want to just hinge at our hips. I like to go forward with my hands. It's not necessary. You'll feel that stretch right on the interior, your upper thighs. Don't go too far, just to the resistance point, and enjoy those deep breaths. And remember, we are here to appreciate ourselves, who we are right now. Flex those legs. Excellent. On your next inhale, hands back up to the sky and down. Great. Okay, we're going to move over to the mat, or excuse me, to our backs. And lay down very gently. Done a lot of work. We're going to start with a nice butterfly pose. So start with your knees up and slowly drop them. Place your feet together and allow your knees to open up. Blocks are great if you need something to hold you up, but also you can use a book, anything. You can use pillows. I've used pillows when I've been in hotels as bolsters and blocks. I'll take a few breaths here. See if you can just release. Excellent. Bring your knees back up and find some space between them. And we're going to do a little windshield wiper back and forth with our knees up and feet to the mat, if you can see that. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and hug our legs in. Hug them. Oh, great. I like to try a little massage on my lower back when I hug legs. I learned that a long time ago, and it really works. Excellent. So let's put our feet to the mat. We're going to take our right leg and cross it over our left leg to a figure 4 pose. It's a modified pigeon pose. And then lift our leg. If you can, bring your hands through and hold your left leg. If you can't, it may be enough to keep the foot on the ground and just allow that muscle to relax in that position. Or, like I said, you can circle through here and do your figure 4 pose this way. You should feel it through your hips. This is a hip opening stretch, which is really great after doing the warrior poses and things like that, where we really use those muscles. Keep your feet flexed. Okay, go ahead and drop that foot down. Right cross it over our right knee. Again, right here, if you feel, you can bring your foot closer to your glutes for more, or you can lift that leg up. And if you want even more, you can grasp your right leg and pull it towards you. Flex your feet. I always tend to forget to flex my feet, but it's always so good for you. Perfect. Let's put that right foot back down on the ground. If we head it up, and then our left foot down on the ground. From here, we're going to go ahead and hug our legs again in tight and drop our left leg. Keep our right leg in, give it a squeeze, and then bring it across our body, lifting the right hip up while keeping both shoulders on the ground. Stretch your right arm out for a supine twist and look over your right shoulder. I'm hoping you can see this well. Bring that leg back up and give it a nice hug. Go ahead and drop it down beneath the left leg. Now bring your left leg up, bring it in, and bring it over your body to the right hand side, keeping both shoulders grounded, and push your left arm out and look over your hand, over your arm and hand. That's great. Bring your left leg in, give it a nice squeeze. Both feet in, nice squeeze. And now we're going to go ahead and go into waterfall. Bring our feet directly up into the air. If you have a block and you wish to, you can place it under your tailbone just to create a little more of an inversion. This is called waterfall. Legs in the air, feet up the wall. It's actually great. It forces the blood in your legs to come down. It's interesting, moving blood around your body is so healthy. Down. And from here, we're gonna hug our legs and go into a quick happy baby, maybe not a quick one. Grab the outsides of your feet, bringing your knees down towards your armpit area. Maybe rock your baby back and forth, maybe not, if your baby's sleeping. Release your feet. Give it one more big squeeze. Pick your head up. Go as tight as you can. All of your muscles. And lay down. Fully relax your head. back. Stretch your legs out. Let your arms go to the side, palms up, open to receiving for Shavasana. Maybe tuck your shoulder blades in, lift your chin gently, relax your face, allow your feet to fall out to the side. Unclench your hands if they're clenched. Allow your tongue to fall away from the top of your mouth. Release your shoulders. Allow your eyes to roll to wherever they want to be. Make sure your eyes are closed. Thank yourself for this time that you've given to yourself, an hour. There's 24 hours in the day. And to give yourself 60 minutes to focus on your heart and your mind, and your presence is so incredible. It's a gift. And it's one of the best ways that you can appreciate yourself is inside of those beautiful twists, stretching those muscles that carry you all day, every day, your entire life. You are perfectly made. When you're ready, gently butterfly your eyes open. Maybe bring your hands above your head for a morning stretch. Flex your legs out long and gently roll over to your right hand side. Tuck your right hand under your ear. Maybe bring your knees up to a warm, comforting wake-up position. And when it feels right, Please sit up and join me on your mat. And I'll meet you with hands at heart center. I want to thank you so much for joining me for Soulful Sunday. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining my class today.